Hey lovelies, how's it going? Hope all is well. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with a new video, and today I am here to tell my opinion about the Clark Sister movie that just premiered on Lifetime. Now, if you don't know who the Clark Sisters are, they are this legendary gospel group that a lot of people, probably have some inspiration from because they are just so talented. Their voices are amazing and they are gifted beyond belief. It's just crazy what their voices can do and how talented they are. Now, when it came to the movie, I had very high expectations. I don't know if it was because Mary J. Blige and Missy Elliott and all these celebrities were talking about it, but I was anticipating like this great production, and to be quite honest with you guys, I kind of felt like it was okay. Like, it was a good movie, but it could have been great. And I'm not sure if the family wanted to, not necessarily touch on a lot of things to protect that family dynamic or to protect the households or to protect their image in the Christian community. I'm not sure. I just felt like it was a lot of things that was hidden and quitted with the movie. Like, it was a lot of touch and goes. It wasn't necessarily telling the whole story, just a little bit of the story to leave you questioning, like, so what's really going on? For instance, like, I remember when in the movie the mother and the father, they were fighting in the house or whatever, and Jackie came home. Basically, Jackie was trying to protect her mom, and the father basically said, you're not even mine.
You ain't even my child. Get your stuff and get out of my house now.
When he said that, if you didn't necessarily hear that part, because I had to stop it, I said, whoa. All the Clark sisters ain't got the same mama and daddy? Like, I was like, wait, what just happened there? And they're like, Leah, what are you talking about? They all got the same mama and daddy. They right there. And I'm like, no. The dad just said, you're not even mine. So which sisters belong to these parents and what's going on? Now, I had to stop the movie and Google real quick because I'm like, hold on. So do they have different dads and stuff like that? Like, I wanted to know the whole story. What I had read, the mother was married prior to being married to the Clark guy, and she had 2 kids. Like, she had 2 older kids. That's just the story that I got. I believe there's a son, but the son wasn't mentioned in the movie. Y'all, I don't know. A lot of their story is not out here on Google, but I do know that 2 of them are from a previous marriage. That's what they say. I felt like that's something that should have been touched on. I really felt like that would have been a great conversation in the household, talking about step-parents, and it really could have told a little more of Jackie's story or some of the sisters and their point of view about their upbringing and how they felt, not necessarily having their biological father in their life. If he was or wasn't in their life, we don't know because it wasn't told in the movie. And I don't know if this is just my brain or how my brain works, because I be wanting to know more. Like, I want to know a backstory, and that's just something that I just didn't, I don't know, I didn't like that was very touch and go. Another thing that I felt was touch and go was Twinkie, her health and her mental health. I don't know if it's just me, but in the movie, it was a lot of conversations that were had about Twinkie as if she had some type of disability. And I'm not talking about not being able to be mobile and things of that sort. Kind of like as if she was autistic, I don't know, but it's certain parts in the movie where the mother was even saying, like, you need me, you can't survive without me.
I look at you and I say a woman. You got the face of a woman, you got the body of a woman, but you still a child. You a baby. Why me, mama? Because you need me. You need me. The first man pay attention to you. You want to marry him. You a child, Twinkie.
Like, you can't make your own choices. I have to make your choices. And with her selling her catalog, like, all willy-nilly for a car, like, it was just a lot of things that happened that makes you think, like, her social cues aren't the same as the other girls. Like, there's something different about her than the other girls, but it was very touch and go. I do know she was hospitalized, but the movie made it seem as if it was for depression, not necessarily mental illness. So it was just a lot going on that I felt like they should have really took it there because it really helped somebody else, And I don't know, like I said, if they were trying to protect themselves or protect, how the church, the Christian community looked at them, but that was just something that I felt should have been talked about. And even knowing that Twinkie is talented, like she is a dope producer. Y'all, like I just was looking at one of the albums she did with FAMU. Like she is really, really talented. So it doesn't take away her talent. I just felt like if that was something that she conquered and she was going through, it should have been talked about. Especially being that the mother dragged her everywhere. They kind of made it seem as if like she was just being dragged everywhere because, you know, her mom was forcing her to, but was it because her mom was protecting her knowing that she had some type of disability? I don't want people to think that I'm trying to be nasty or being rude, but like honestly, back in the day, they were not going to get their kids tested. They knew something was wrong, but nobody said anything, or they didn't want to know what was wrong, you know? So I felt like that should have been, something should have been done right there because it didn't seem right. And I don't know, maybe this is the counselor Leah thinking, but something is not right with her social cues and, you know, the way that they depicted her. It made it seem as if it was something that was going on there that they didn't want to touch on too hot. That is on that. Now, when it came to Denise, now I had seen the funeral scene on YouTube. The YouTube funeral scene is nothing like, well, it's kind of similar to the one on the movie, but Denise wasn't acting that wild at the funeral. And
I can talk.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord, church.
And I didn't like how they depicted that on screen because I kind of felt as if you already know you have like this distance between you and your sisters, like why even take it that far, or why even take it there? I understand it's Hollywood, I understand it's entertainment, but I feel like the story still could have been told with her acting out the funeral that we can all see on the internet, on our computer screens, the real version. I kind of felt as if that should have been the same. Like I don't think they should have, like, you know, sensationalized that. I felt like that was a little too much. If anything, I wanted to know about her because I really wanted to know, like, did she get married? Did she get a job? Like, how did she survive when she left the group? Like, how did she maintain? Because you can't feed 7 kids by sitting at home. You know what I'm saying? So that's just something that I felt like should have been touched on. Last but not least, as far as the judgment in the church, knowing that so many millennials or so many people are watching these movies, I felt as if they should have did a little more with talking about how they broke down barriers in the church. Knowing that the Christian community, y'all, let's be real, very judgmental. The church house, very judgmental. Younger adults are not necessarily in the church as much as our parents were because of that. Knowing that they broke down barriers, they were doing things that they shouldn't have been doing, okay? Or they would have been condemned. I felt that they should have showed like how they changed the narrative in the church, how they made people relate to them, how they were able to get these deacons, these pastors, these ministers, like how they were able to get them all on board to understand, like, this is what it is, like this is what we're doing, you know, you shouldn't be upset about it, this is still God's will, like we are still doing great things, and just because it's not what you're used to, your norm, it's still okay. At the end of the day, they were able to perform in churches, they were able to be the #1 gospel artists, so they were able to get that support from the community. But how? I felt like that should have been shown, so it could have kind of helped, you know, the young generation know, like, you know, why were they so judgmental? Were they trying to protect them? Like, are these churches trying to really protect their community? Are they trying to protect their beliefs? Like, what are they trying to do? I felt like that should have been told because all we seen was judgment. Kicking the mom out because she performed at the Grammys. Like, judgment, 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 judgment. There was no set way into them making the transition or changing how people viewed them as a group or how people viewed their mother as a minister. Like, it was, I felt like that should have been touched on. That's just me. Another thing I didn't like is the fact that they didn't talk about their solo career. And the reason why I did not like that is because I felt like even though the girls separated, they were still a part of each person's project. If you look onto their bios and you look onto social media or even websites that they have, like Twinkie was still writing and helping, you know, Karen and Dorinda, like they were still helping each other. They were singing back vocals on each other's albums, so it still would have told their whole story. All in all, I felt like this was the mother's story. This was the mother's movie. I don't see this as a Clark sisters movie, and that's just my opinion. The reason why I don't see this as a Clark sisters movie is because I don't think it did a good job with telling their stories and all. I do know it's a whole lot to condense in 2 hours. After the mom passed away, I kind of felt like the movie was over. Like when I looked at my TV and I looked at where we was at, and I'm like, wait, it's about to end? Like, they didn't even tell that much, and then they didn't even touch on a lot of things that happened. You know, they didn't talk about their weight struggles. They didn't talk about a lot of stuff that the public knew. I don't know. For me, I liked the movie. I just did not like that part. If you're not coming out with something like that All-American Jackson 5 movie that lasts about 7, 6, 18 hours, then I don't think a movie should be made, okay? Because nowadays, people want to see like the nitty gritty. They want to see more, and I felt like it should have been more. I don't know, that's just me. But other than that, all around, the story was still good. It still touched on some things that I did not know. Felt like for it to be condensed in 2 hours, I guess that was the only way they could do it. But I do wish it would have told more about their lives, like as individuals and as sisters. Like, I don't know. You guys, let me know your thoughts and your opinions. Maybe I'm just doing too much. Maybe that's just me, but I just really felt like it just could have gave me a little bit more. Or maybe I'm just like really a super fan and I just want too much, okay? Or I expect too much. I don't know. You guys, let me know your thoughts and your opinions down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.